Hello there everybody, how's it going? It's Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, and I am coming to you on this Friday, April 5th, 2024. I am here with my next update video. It's been about a little over a week and a half since my last update video finally went live. That was a drama in and of itself. It's okay, not a big deal. And so we are back again to do an update video, which I don't expect to be much. Before we get into all that though, welcome everybody. Welcome to both my returning viewers as well as anybody who is new here. Perhaps you're checking out my channel for the first time. Thank you all so much for stopping by and spending part of your day with me. So what are we talking about today? I have a couple of projects that I have worked on since my last update, but like not a lot. I have some minor updates to my plans and my end of March statistics to share with you today, and that's really it. Sometimes, if you are new, sometimes I will talk about books and knitting. I got lots of books over there, and even some yarn. So sometimes I will talk about those things, but I'm not today. I am working on a knit currently, but I'm not at a great place to share it because I have some decisions to make, and so I will share that in my next update video. So that's kind of what you can expect there. So yeah, just stitching today, just the cross stitch. So let's dive right in and let's get in with the works in progress, the things that I have worked on since we last saw each other. So last time we spoke, I was working on Secret Stitch. So I don't have that to show you, obviously. It's a project that I work on every month. I have a small monthly goal of 1,000 stitches a month. And I think it took me 2 days to do that, maybe even like dipping into a third day. I can't remember exactly. A week and a half was a long time ago. So I got that goal accomplished. And then I had 2 projects left to get to before the end of March. And so I chose to go with this one because it is my full coverage whip go. I decided to start with this one. And so this is Magic Study. Magic Study was a limited edition with Heaven and Earth Designs. And it was a limited edition at some point, either late spring or early summer 2020. Their limited editions are only up for, I think, a month, and then they're gone. So then Heaven and Earth Designs used to have an alternate version, a rainbow version, if you will, of this same design. But Rose Khan has been retired from Heaven and Earth Designs altogether. So neither this version that I have or the more recent version, neither of them are available on Heaven and Earth Designs anymore. So all of that to say, this is what Magic Study will look like finished in a very long time. I have a long way to go on this one. So this one I have on a Q-snap because it is just a little bit too wide for my medium bars, and my extra long bars it will fit on, but my extra long bars don't fit in my stitchy spot. So this one's on a Q-snap until my stitchy spot changes or something. But anyway, so this is 25 count easy grid Lugana from Zweigart. I'm stitching this 1/1 full cross with the called for DMC. I did sub out the black for anchor black in this one. For all of my Heaven and Earth Designs, actually. I think I did that. So anyway, so like I said, I pulled this out for whip go, full coverage whip go, and my whip go goal in my full coverage board is half of the page of whatever I have left. So at the beginning of March, I had, I think, like 1,300 stitches into page 2 here. And so the remaining, quick math, 6,400 stitches, 6,300 stitches, whatever it was, divided by 2, was my whip go goal. And so that's what you see here. I accomplished my whip go goal on April 1st. So I did not get it done in the month of March. But that's okay. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not bothered at all that it took me a little bit of extra time. I had like 100 stitches and I tried really hard to get it done on March 31st, but I just couldn't do it. I was too tired. I was too tired that day. So this piece is such an interesting one because the artwork leads you to think it's super bright and bold and like Lisa Frank took a paintbrush to it. And the stitched version, the mock-up and the results in thread are much more muted. This one came out right around the same time as DMC 01 through 35 were released. And I think that those colors are beautiful in their own right, but they are dusty. They just look a little dusty. And this piece leans kind of heavily on those, especially in this background color. I'm not loving the background. I'm not loving the way that that's coming out. It's okay. It's the background. I am like 3% into this humongous piece. This one is over 400,000 stitches total. It's big. It's a really large piece. So I'm not super stressed about it, but I don't have so much fun working on this section because I just don't love the result. I'm in the Facebook group, the Magic Study Stitch Along Facebook group, and there are a couple of folks in there who are 75, 80, 90% through this whole piece. And so I know that the whole piece kind of has a cast of being a little bit subtler than the original artwork itself. But I also know that it doesn't look terrible once you get more of it in. Haven Art Designs, they're definitely meant to be viewed at a distance, and you're meant to get the whole picture done before you pass any judgments. Especially for detailed artworks like this one. This one's chock full of things. So anyway, so that there's that. So I don't love the background, but the dragon is looking really cool. So this here is kind of like the joint of his wing, and then the top of his wing there, which swoops down here. This little bump right here is his neck, so his head's gonna come up in here somewhere. So that looks really cool. I really liked getting to stitch the crystal, just seeing that start to come together. So this is the big chandelier in the top left corner. And so that's pretty cool to start to see that come into view. So this will come out again at some point, whatever WIPCO decides. And so I'll get the page finished at that point. In this rotation, I didn't quite reach the bottom of the page. You see I have this last block to do in the bottom of the page, but that's okay. I will get there eventually. So that is my progress on Magic Study. I'm going to tilt this so that you can see the colors a little better, because like straight on, you can see more of the fabric show through. But if I tilt it a little bit, you kind of get a better view of the colors. So there is Magic Study. And so that was my March WIPCO goal accomplished on April 1st. As I mentioned, getting started with Magic Study, I had 2 projects left to accomplish before the end of March. Magic Study, of course, and Summer Sampler by the Cooler Design Studio for my small monthly goal. I never got there. I thought I might be able to do it, but I was just burnt out with stitching and I didn't really want to push that hard on the 31st, so I just saved that goal for later. So whenever I get to Summer Sampler here in April, I'm going to do March's section and April's section, and just put in 600 stitches on that piece this month. And that's going to be okay. I'm okay with postponing the goal for my sanity, really. So Magic Study was the last project that I worked on in March. Before I get into what I've worked on since, let's take a quick pause here and talk about some March statistics. So I know that some of y'all enjoy the statistics, so here we go. At the beginning of March, I had 93 works in progress. Over the course of March, I had 0 new starts. I'd like to see how many months I can do that this year. How many months can I go with 0 new starts? And it remains to be seen if those months that I do have new starts, like April, if I like load up on the new starts this month, or if I or if I take it easy. We'll see. We'll see. Remains to be seen. I have a couple of new starts here this month, so we'll see. So like I said, no new starts. I had 2 finishes in March. I finished May Quaker by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy and Dumbo by Mandarinks Designs. So that left me with 91 projects coming into April. So that's pretty cool. So far I've had 6 finishes and 4 new starts, so that's awesome. I am slowly, very slowly, overall trending down on the number of whips. The total number of stitches I did in March was 20,646. I stitched 29 of the 31 total days. 2 of those days I didn't stitch at all while we were in Michigan. So that brings my yearly total of stitches to just over 66,000, which feels humongous. That feels like a lot for only a quarter of the way through the year. But my number of stitches each month is trending downward, getting to something way more normal for me, which I'm good with. Like I'm really good with that number coming down. I mean, obviously I want more progress, I want more stitches, but I also like I don't want to be stressing myself out trying to keep these numbers up that have been so out of the normal for me. So anyway, if you take the total number of stitches and divide it by the number of days that I actually stitched, then my average is 712. So I averaged 712 stitches a day on every day that I stitched. If you take the total number of stitches and divide it by 31, the total number of days in March, then that averages 666. So that means that I average 666 stitches a day over the course of the whole month. So I worked on 9 unique projects in March, which is also a trending down statistic that I like. I would really like to get to a point where I work on 6 or 7 projects in a month and give them all like really strong rotations. This year that's not going to be feasible with my small monthly goals and my full coverage goals and this, that, and the other thing. 6 or 7 isn't just not going to be feasible this year, but it's something to look forward to maybe for the future. In March, I worked on 4 unique full coverage pieces: Ravenkin, Magic Study, Personal Sunshine, and Secret Stitch. I did 14,795 full coverage stitches, which is 71.66% of the total number of stitches. So that is, again, keeping on par with what I want my goal to be. That's what I want the focus to be, is on full coverage. So we're sticking true to that. Okay. I spent 22 days on full coverage in March. And even if I only spent part of the day on full coverage and the other part of the day on non-full coverage, that still equates to 22. So it's not an even split, 22 days on full coverage and 7 days on non-full coverage and 2 days on nothing. It's just, I spent 22 days that I worked on full coverage. 22 days spent on full coverage. So of the 29 days that I stitched, that is 75.86% of the days. Again, keeping up the trend of spending most time on full coverage. And I spent 70.97% of the total month on full coverage. So I like it. I'm a big fan. So year total, 64.48% of my total stitches have gone to full coverage. That's kind of cool. I have done 42,827 full coverage stitches this year. That also sounds huge. I mean, I like the idea of doing 100,000 full coverage stitches in a year. That sits pretty well with me, but 42 in the first quarter, that's wild. Those are these statistics. I am pleased. I am pleased to see the out of my normal numbers come down. I am pleased to see that the goal is actually resulting. The goal is to focus on full coverage this year, and that's what's happening. So I'm pleased. So yeah, I really like these numbers. I'm just such a numbers girl. Like I just enjoy statistics and things like this. So we're gonna keep that up. Okay, let's get back to the works in progress. So these are the things that I have worked on since the beginning of April. And I say these things, but that's inaccurate. I've worked on one project outside of that magic study goal that I had to finish up. So I am full coverage whip go is what I'm working on. I spun my wheel and it pulled full coverage whip go. I thought about doing summer sampler first off just to get that goal as close to March as possible, but it really doesn't make a difference. So I spun my whip wheel and it pulled full coverage whip go. My full coverage whip go for April, both 18 and 21, are dark waters. So the goal is the page finish on dark waters. This is also by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist here is Jessica Allain. And I'm going to insert a preview here of what this will look like finished. I am stitching a very slightly cropped version. I have taken 65 stitches off the total width of the design to fit my fabric. But I'm not going to lose much of anything except for some of the background. But it's not going to make much of a difference at all. So this is currently still on my frame. Well, let me show it to you and then we'll go into it. So I'm once again gotta move my park threads out of the way so y'all can see the massive blue. That's really all it is. So I'm bored. I'm not gonna lie. I'll admit it. I'm a little bored. There is really not much happening. And once again, the coverage directly, like straight on screen, doesn't look so great. If I tilt it a little bit, it looks a little smoother. It looks a little not so obnoxious. This one really looks really good at a distance. Because like I said, I mean, that's the Heaven and Earth Designs way. That's kind of what you get with full coverage. Yesterday, I got the whip go goal accomplished, and I was gonna switch. I had spun the whip wheel, it pulled full coverage whip go. I had accomplished one of my full coverage whip go goals. I was going to spin the wheel and go to something else. But I didn't switch my projects last night, and typically when that happens, when I get up the next morning, instead of trying to figure out what to work on next and then doing the switch and whatnot, I just sat down and started stitching. And I've decided to stick with this to the page finish. Originally that was the plan, but then I was getting really bored. But I've re-upped that decision, and I'm gonna work on this to the page finish, and just get both of my whip go goals knocked out as fast as possible. The thing is that this is boring, but it's going fast. I mean, I did 3,000 stitches in 4 days, so like you can't deny the progress there. But it's just not very interesting. Now I will say that right here, maybe you can barely see those black stitches. Yeah. So that is the very tip of one of the silhouettes of one of the birds. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm getting into some black for the silhouette of the tiny bird. But I mean, I'll take what I can get at this point. So I'm really hoping that I can get this page finished by Sunday. If I could get this page finished on Sunday, that would be really cool to just knock this out and not have it hanging over my head. It does mean that this project will go away for the rest of the year at that point, but I could use a break from the blue, from all of that blue. It's pretty. I mean, I'm enjoying it, and this lighter patch here is getting into some new colors finally, so that's cool. I need to be stitching things, and so that is my current progress on Dark Waters. I won't do any before and afters for this one because I am mid-rotation. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about plans, because that's what I'm currently working on. I'm working on Dark Waters at least through Sunday, hopefully no further than that. I think I could get that page finished by Sunday. I think I have like 2,000 stitches left, so it's not a huge ask. Okay. So get that page finished on Sunday. On Sunday, April 7th, that is the WIP birthday for Farmhouse Christmas, which is my non-full coverage whip go call. It's one of my non-full coverage pieces. So I'm going to try to work on that on Sunday as well. If I only get 100 stitches in it, so be it. But to work on it on its whip birthday, that's kind of cool. So I'll do that. I'll work on that on Sunday and probably work on that until either the project is finished or the whip go goal is accomplished, depending on my mood on how long I want to stick with the piece. I have more than 1,500 stitches to do in the project, so there's that. I did not bring that to show you this time because I showed you it last time, and this is all very much dependent on what I get to. If for whatever reason Dark Waters takes me past Sunday to get that page finished, then I will spin my whip wheel and save Farmhouse Christmas for whenever it comes up, because I'm only going to deviate from the whip wheel decision making if it will line up on its whip birthday. So maybe that was more information than you needed, but anyway. So let's talk about some further out April plans. I have a couple of new starts coming. I need to start June Quicker by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. That is another whip go non-full coverage call. And then I have had this in the plans to start the weekend of the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So this is A Symphony of Friendship by Cottage Garden Samplings. My friend Beth Ann and I are starting this. You are more than welcome to join. We're going to call this my birthday start, even though it's about a week before my birthday, but that's okay. I am totally here for it. That is 24 hours of cross stitch marathon weekend, which is why we timed it out for that. I am really looking forward to starting this, but I think I'm gonna break from my tradition, and I think I'm gonna start on the cardinal. I normally start in the top left corner, but I think I just want to get right into the cardinal as fast as I can. So that's going to be my plan. I don't have fabric picked for this. This design is large. It is 379 wide by 229 high, so it's a very big piece. But I have some 40 count that it will fit. This calls for quite a few DMC and then a couple of overdyes, and I'm probably going to sub the weeks. I might have the general arts, but the weeks I'm going to sub for DMC, just because of preferences. So yeah, looking forward to starting that, and you're more than welcome to join. I don't think there's a hashtag because I don't think hashtags work anymore on Instagram, so yeah, just feel free to start it with us. Tag me on Instagram if you decide to join along. So that I'm excited about. This is something that I purchased this morning. I saw this on Instagram, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And then it was one of those situations of switch over to my internet browser to look it up. I forgot who the designer was and what the name of the thing was, so I switched back to Instagram, and instead of it pulling up the same post I was just looking at, it refreshed for no apparent reason whatsoever. And it was totally out of my head. And all of my Googling did not help until this morning when I got an email from Lindy Stitches about this designer. And so I pulled up the designer's website to purchase a PDF, thinking, hoping, wishing that it would go into Pattern Keeper. I'm here to tell you it doesn't. It does not work in Pattern Keeper, and that's okay. So I have the PDF here. This is Robin Pickens' Seasonal Courier Robin Spring. These designs are super cute and little. This one is 66 wide by 95 high, and Robin has all 4 of the seasons. And I think I want to stitch this quickly. I think I want to start this and maybe try to finish it as fast as I can and get it fully finished for spring. I just think these are really cute. It's like a mini version of the Songbirds Garden series. But I just think this is really adorable, and so I'm going to try to kit this up and get this started ASAP, and get it finished ASAP. Like I said, it's really cute and little. So yeah, I think this is really cute, and I think I could finish it before the end of spring. and have it displayed. And then I will get a jump start on summer as well. I didn't pick that up. I just picked up this one just to get me started. So that is coming. Maybe I'll start that this weekend when I really can't with Dark Waters. So we'll see. So yeah, so that is it for the change to plans. In my last update video, I showed you all of the WIPCO things. And so head over there if you want to see what projects I have coming up, or just stay tuned around here and I will show you them as they come up. Because I am leaning pretty heavily on the whip wheel to choose what's coming up next for me, my plan segments have shrunk quite a bit, which is interesting. So I think that's everything. I think that's all I have to share with you today. I'm going to head off here and get some lunch. And I will see you all in the next one. I am planning to film in a week. So we'll see what I accomplish in the next 7 days. So everybody, happy stitching. As always, be kind. I will see you in the next one. If you can, send somebody to Medicine Sans Frontiers or World Central Kitchen, because of the whatever help they are trying to provide to Palestinians in Gaza. Send them some money if you can. Okay, that's it. See you all next time.